Hello, friends. Welcome to Betkraft, your home of show football analysis and predictions. Okay, yesterday in our games we had some success, even though some didn't live up to expectations. But today again we have a lot of games lined up, and we also made our visual analysis on these games, and we came up with the verdict for each of them. And also today is our Sunday Millionaires game. We will be talking about games that you can play and that can get you up to millions. So in this very video, I advise you to stick around because these games would be displayed in the later part of this very video. But for now, we will have to start with today's predictions. And also, I want to urge those of us who are coming across our video for the very first time, who are yet to subscribe, please take out time to subscribe. That way, you won't be missing out, on our subsequent videos that will be coming up on this channel on a daily basis. So take out time to click the subscription button down there. Click the subscription button, and so that you won't miss out, and in that way you'll be helping us to grow. Okay, you've done that. Thank you very much. Let's head to the business of the day. Without much ado, we'll start with the very first game, and it is in Denmark, where we have Frederica. Okay, then Denmark Division 1. We have Frederica coming up against Sondeska in Danish Division 1. And as usual, we'll take a look at how both teams have fared in the recent past, and also make our verdict on these very games. And for the home side, Frederica, in the past 20 games they've had 8 wins, they've had 4 draws, as well as 8 losses in the past 20 games they played. And their away side, Sondeska, have seen 14 wins out of 20, as well as 1 draw and 5 losses in the past 20 games they've had so far. And looking at the recent 5 games for both sides, we see that in the past 5 for Frederica, they've just managed 2 wins and as well had 2 losses. And the away side, Sondiska, have seen 3 wins and 2 losses in the past 5 games I've had so far. Okay, and also the head-to-head of this encounter have seen this guy being very dominant in the past 4 head-to-head meetings, defeating these very opponents on 3 occasions out of 4, so making them much more stronger side. Seeing them also defeating the Federica in February 16th this year. So we know that this guy is much more fancy to pick up the sports in this very game, and we expect our side to win outrightly in this very game. I will win, that's our value for that very game. And that takes us to the next game, and the next game is in Denmark Superliga. Okay, and we will have Virgil will be coming up against Randers FC. And as usual, in the past recent games for both sides, we see that the home side, Virgil, in the past 20 games have had 5 wins, 10 draws, and 5 losses. And the away side, I've seen 8 wins, 5 draws, and 7 losses in the past 20 games I've had. And in the past 5, we'll see that Virgil has managed just 1 win. They've had 2 losses and 2 draws in the past 5 games. And the away side, Randers FC have seen two wins in the past 5 games. They've also had 2 losses and 1 draw. One of those losses coming up against Mighty Land, the league toppers at the moment. So we expect that the away side Randers, who is doing so well in this very encounter, to achieve some sort of result. Also, what you've noticed is the fact that the Randers in the past 8 head-to-head meetings for both sides have seen Randers having victory on 6 occasions, and the other 2 being a draw. Okay, there's never been a time that the home side have defeated their away side. It is always Randers who always pick the spot, wins the game, whether they play from home or away. So in this very encounter, putting all that together, we know that our away side has the capacity to pick up the sports in this very game, and they're doing so well at the moment. We expect Randers to pick up the sports and win outright in this very encounter. And we win, that's our verdict. And that takes us to England, where we have Arsenal coming up against Aston Villa. Okay, you know that Arsenal is ranked 2nd at the moment, and Liverpool is topping the league with 1 point at the moment. So it is a very fierce battle for Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester City. So in this very encounter, you can see that in the past 20 for Arsenal, they have been able to win 12, and they've had 4 draws as well as 4 losses. And the away side, Aston Villa, about 9 wins, 5 draws, and 6 losses in the past 20 games of head. And when you look at the recent encounter for both sides, you see that Arsenal, while playing in the past 5 games they've had. They've been able to win 3 and as well as 2 draws in the past 5 games they've had. Also, did one of those draw being coming up against Manchester City in their last Premier League meeting for both sides. We also saw Aston Villa in the past 5 winning 2, having 2 draws as well as 1 loss in the past 5 games they've had. Okay, and we also what of note is the fact that in the past 8 head-to-head have seen Arsenal beating this side on 5 occasions, and we've seen Aston Villa, having the upper hand on 4 occasions. On 3 occasions rather. So it is a very tough game for both sides. Seeing that Aston Villa can as well win, we expect goals verdict in this very one. Expect to see at least 3 goals in this very encounter. Over 2.5. That's our verdict for that very game, and that takes us to the next one. And the next one is also in England. We'll have Liverpool, who will be up against Crystal Palace. Liverpool being a serious title contender at the moment. And you'll see that in the past 20, they've had 14 wins as well as 3 draws and 3 losses. And their away side, Crystal Palace, in the past 20 games, have had only 4 wins, has 6 draws and 10 losses in the past 20 games. And we could say that Liverpool, in the past 5, have seen 2 wins, 2 losses and 1 draw. Those losses coming up against Manchester United in the FA Cup, as well as their loss to Atalanta in the midweek during Europa League match. And on the away side, on the other hand, have lost 2 and had 2 draws as well as 1 win in the past 5 games of head so far. And also, word of note also is that they had the past head to head for both sides. I've seen Liverpool defeating Crystal Palace by 2-1, and in this very encounter and in the past 8 encounters I've seen Liverpool defeating these sides on 8 occasions. So Liverpool has been very, very dominant in this very encounter. So we expect Liverpool, who is playing from Anfield, to pick up the sports in this very game. It is home win. That's our verdict for that very encounter. And that takes us to French League One, where we'll have Clermont Foot, who will be out against Montpellier. Okay, we could see that in the past 20 for the home side, they have had just 3 wins. They've had 7 draws as well as 10 losses, and their away side have seen 7 wins and they have 5 draws and 8 losses in the past, 20 games they've had. And you could look at the recent result for both sides, the recent run of form in the past 5 games that they had. The home side have been able to manage just 1 win, and they've had 1 draw, which came against Paris Saint-Germain in their last league match. And as well, they've seen 3 losses in the past 5 games they've had. And their away side, Montpellier, in the past 5 have managed 3 wins. They've had 1 loss, which was against Paris Saint-Germain, and they've had 1 draw also. And we expect their away side, who is slightly better than the home side in terms of recent form, to pick up the sports in this very game. It is away side, Montpellier is expected to win outrightly in that very game. Okay, and next is in Hungary, we'll have Zala Egezegji coming up against Ferencvárosi in Hungary, and we'll look at how both teams are fared. We could see that the past 24, the home side have had 10 wins as well as 3 draws and 7 losses, and the away side in the past 20 have managed 13 wins as well as 3 draws and 4 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And you can as well see that the home side also in the past 20 games have been able to score 38 goals and have conceded 31, and their away side Ferencvárosi, who is topping the league at the moment, have been able to score 37 goals and they have conceded just 15 goals. Okay, and taking a look at the recent past for both sides, we see that in the past 5, the home side have managed 2 wins and have had 2 losses as well as 1 draw, and the away side have been able to win 4 games out of the past 5 they've had, and have had just 1 draw. Okay, and the head-to-head encounter have seen the away side being very, very dominant, winning on 7 occasions out of 8 meetings for both teams. You see that in the past 8 meetings, Ferencvárosi have won 7 times, and the home side have managed just 1 win. Okay, which happened in 2023. But we know that away side they are heavy for favorites to pick up the sport in this very encounter. So we expect a win. That's our verdict for that very game. and that will lead us to the next game, and it is in Italian Serie A. We'll have Sassuolo who will be coming up against AC Milan. Okay, we know that Sassuolo is ranked 19 at the moment. They are the second worst team in Italian Serie A at the moment. We could see that in the past 20 they've had just 3 wins, and they've had four draws as well as 13 losses. And their wayside AC Milan have managed 14 wins in the past 20. They have had 2 draws as well as 4 losses in the past 20 games they've had. And you can look at in the recent 5 games that both teams have played, I've seen Sassuolo having just 1 win, which came up against the official name, who are the worst team in the league, and they've had two draws as well as 2 losses. And the AC Milan, on the other hand, have had 4 wins out of 5 past games, and then 1 loss. That loss came in the Europa League game against Roma, where they lost out by 1-0. And in this very encounter, we expect the away side, AC Milan, who is a stronger side, who are also heavy favorites to pick up the spoils in this very encounter. It is away side to win. That's all valid for that very game, and that will lead us to the next game. And that next game happened to be in Holland, where we'll have NEC will be coming up. NEC will be coming up against Zwolle in the Dutch league, and we look at the past 20 for both sides. We'll see that in the past 20, I've seen the home side NEC winning 14 times, and they're having 4 draws and 2 losses in the past 20 games. Sorry, and away side in the past 20 have managed just 5 wins, 5 draws, and 10 losses. And also taking a look at how both teams have fared in the recent 5 games I've had, you could see that in the recent 5 for the home side, they have managed 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss, and the away side have just managed 1 win, and I have had 3 losses and 1 draw in the past 5 games I've had. And also taking a look at the head-to-head position for both sides, you could see that in the past 5 head-to-head, I've seen on the home side winning on 2 occasions, and the away side also winning on 2 occasions. And in this very encounter, we know that the home sides are heavy favorites to pick up the spoils in this very game. We expect the home side, NEC, to pick up the spoils in this very game. Home win, that's our value for this very encounter. And that takes us to the next game. It is in Norwegian League, where we have Lillestrøm coming up against Bodo Glimt in Norwegian League. We know that Lillestrøm is ranked 5th at the moment, and Bodo Glimt is currently 2nd in Norwegian League. And we take a look at how both teams have fared in the past 20. You see that the home side have had 9 wins. They have also had 3 draws as well as 8 losses. And the away side, Bodo Glimt, in the past 20 have had 11 wins and have had 1 draw and 8 losses in the past 11 games I've had. So in the past 20 games, pardon me, so far. And you look at how both sides, the home side, in the past 5 games have had just 1 loss, and have had 4 wins. Okay, and 2 of those wins came from the friendly match. Okay, and also the away side have had 3 wins and 2 losses, and those 2 losses also came from the friendly match before the league games. And looking at the head-to-head for both sides, we could see that in the past 8 head-to-head, we see that Bodo Glimt have been very, very dominant, seeing that they have won on this tie on 6 occasions, losing 1 and drawing 1. Okay, it is Bodo Glimt who has been very dominant and who is also expected to come out with a very good result in this very encounter. It is our side to win, Bodo Glimt to pick up the spoils. That's about it. And that takes us to the next. And the next game happened to be in Scotland Premier League, where we have Ross County who will be coming up against Rangers, who is ranked 2nd. Ross County is ranked 11 at the moment. And you look at the performances in the past 20 games. In the past 20, the home side have had 4 wins, 4 draws, 12 losses. And the away side have had 14 wins, 3 draws and 3 losses in the past 20 games of here. And when we look at the recent 5 games for both sides, we'll see that the home side Ross County have had just 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses in the past 5 games. And the away side Rangers have had 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. And that loss coming up against Benfica in the Europa League. And the head-to-head encounter for both sides have seen the Rangers being very dominant, winning on 7 occasions out of 8. 8 times both teams have met. Rangers have won 7 times, and the other one being a draw. So there's never been a time that Ross County have seen victory against Rangers in the past 8 games. So we expect the run to continue. We expect the away side Rangers FC to pick up the spoils in that very encounter. A away win, that's about it. And that takes us to the last game of the day, which happened to be in Sweden's second league, super return. That's what it's called. And you see that in that game we'll have Helsingborg coming up against Utstekens BK in second division, Swedish second division, and you see that the home side is having the past 20 they have had 8 wins, 5 draws and 7 losses in the past 20 games of here, and the away side have had just 3 wins, 7 draws and 10 losses in the past 20 games of here. Okay, what they have mentioned is the fact that the home side have been able to score 25 goals. They have also conceded 22, and the away side have been able to manage to score 14 goals, but they have conceded 37 goals in the past 20 games of play. So it is a conceding team, and the home side is a better side. Looking at also the head-to-head, the past 5 games for both sides, we could see that the home side, Helsingborg, have won on 5 occasions. Have won 3 games out of 5, and have drawn 2. Okay, in the recent past games, and the West Side have been able to win once, and have drawn 2, and have also lost twice in the past 5 games of head. Okay, all right. That being said, we know that the home side, Helsingborg, is much more better team. Considering the statistics that we read out, we saw that the home side is doing better and they're in fine form, and they're expected to pick up the sports in this very game. It is one win. That's our value for that very encounter, and that brings our predictions. On Sunday, 14th day of April, in Betkraft to a conclusion. And it's time for the Sunday Millionaire in this game, which will be displayed on the screen there, as well as the booking code also. So kindly take a look and try out this game and see where it takes you to. Okay, that being said, I wish you the best of luck. I wish you your ticket goes green and all that. And I hope to see you again tomorrow for tomorrow's game. But until then, keep winning.